Hello and welcome to No Man's Land, the survival multicraft let's play where you can play with me. If you want to join in the world, contact me on Twitter or Discord and we can have a conversation about you guys joining in. I'm Shisho Shroom, and today we're going to knock down as many of these farms as we can. Now, I've already found 3 slime chunks. There's a very nice website called chunkbase.com, and it essentially tells you where all of the slime chunks are going to be. It also can tell you how to find end cities, monuments, essentially anything you would ever want in a world. So I found 3 slime chunks, and I also know where a skeleton spawner is. So we're gonna get those taken care of really quick so that we have all of the sticky pistons that we need for the cobblestone farm, as well as the nether tree farm, and the slime blocks that we're gonna need for that. The bones from the skeleton will also be able to power the nether tree farm so that we can still get a lot of the other blocks from it as building material. The wool farm is in progress. I found 2 sheep, and they have bred 1 sheep. We will slowly get more. So let's get the slime farm and the skeleton farm taken care of as quickly as possible. They are both, fortunately, just on the other side of the mountain. The beacon is marking where the slime is going to be, and I've already lit up some of the surrounding caves nearby, so hopefully this will be somewhat efficient. So let's clear out all of this stone. And the slime farm is completely done. There's not a whole lot to it, just a few spawning platforms lit up so that nothing else can spawn, since a slime can spawn in any light source. There's water in the corner just to kind of try and push them to the center a little bit more. They chase the iron golems into the center pit where they end up burning, and most of their drops make it into some hoppers that are then collected into the chests down below. Now the skeleton farm is also completely done. The skeleton farm works with a skeleton spawner. The skeletons spawn in the room that I have dug out for them, get shot up through a water elevator. The little stair at the top pushes them forward a little bit and keeps them from getting stuck up in that corner. They then fall down a 20-block gap where they are reduced to half a heart, and 1 swipe with my looting 3 sword gives a ton of drops. Now you'll hear that clicking, and hopefully it's not too loud and annoying. But essentially, the hoppers are going into a filtration system, which is set up back here, and essentially there is 1 line set up to check for bones, and all of the bones get filtered out into this chest. Everything else gets put into a dropper where it is dropped on top of some soul sand that has some soul fire where it gets burned. That way, we only get the bones from this. We don't need anything else. I may eventually get some arrows. We're gonna also get arrows from the piglin bartering farm, which we will eventually get set up. But as you can see, we have a ton of bones, as well as a ton of slime from the slime farm. And we now have enough bones to power up the nether tree farm, as well as hopefully a regular tree farm, and enough slime to build the nether tree farm and the cobblestone farm. The wool farm we can actually get knocked out really quick, and so we're probably going to do that. Cobblestone farm is also not going to take too long. The nether tree farm will take a very long time. But we have the skeleton farm and the slime farm. Next up is the wool farm. Alright, we have the first 2 sections of the wool farm done, and essentially this is how it's going to work. There's going to be a slot for every sheep. On every one of these sections where there's going to be a sheep, there's a dispenser filled with shears, and behind it is a solid block with a piece of redstone dust on top with an observer facing into it, observing the grass block in front of it. So when the sheep eat the grass and grow its wool back, it launches the dispenser, which cuts off their wool, and it's picked up in a hopper minecart down here and taken down to some chests. Now we have 2 sections done. I'm going to build 16 out, 1 for every color, and we should end up with enough wool for covering the shroom light as we do the detail work on the mountain. We now have all 16 colors of the wool farm all finished up and shearing those sheep. Now next on the agenda is the cobblestone generator as well as the nether tree farm, and I want to put the cobblestone generator underneath the iron farm, kind of tucked away in here so that we don't really have to hear the TNT explosions as we're walking around the mountain. The same reason that I'm putting the cobblestone farm over is why I'm putting the nether tree farm over here. It's also a TNT based farm. There's going to be some explosions, and I'd like to keep that away from the main areas of the mountain. So I'm going to put the nether tree farm right here, and then we can actually probably finish off this little area and get it looking a little bit more completed. All right, and And we have finished the nether tree farm. This design is by Works, and I'll put the link to his video in the description below. I've made a few adjustments to it, so mine's not entirely the same, and I've also mirrored it. So I've got one side that's the blue nether tree and the other side that's the red nether tree. Realistically, I have not made a whole lot of additions to this farm. Essentially, all I've done is changed the output. So instead of recycling all of the materials that you get from this other than the wood back into bone meal to keep this farm going, I have all of the blocks going into chests, and I also have the chest output set up so that nothing is piling up. With Works' system of hopper maneuvering of items, things were kind of getting clogged, and you could only run it for a short amount of time before a lot of the chests got filled up. Or specifically, a lot of the hopper, a single hopper would get piled up from 20 hoppers going into it, and it wouldn't be able to filter out any more items. So the only addition in that regard that I have made is all of the hoppers are a line going into an individual chest, and it keeps that buildup from happening so that you can keep the farm running for an extended period of time. Now, all of the output from this farm goes down into some chests down here below, and I actually ended up changing it, as you can see by that stack of random chests. That was the original output for the majority of the farm, but I moved a lot of things around so that it could all fit a little bit nicer and not get any pile up. This is the nether tree farm, and Works has a video explaining how it works. It is a lot. There's a lot going on here. It is essentially just a extended hopper clock with a couple TNT dupers that go in succession of each other, but there is a lot of intricate redstone happening here and just a lot of really nuanced things that make this work, and Works does a great job of explaining how all of that works. We have also built a cobblestone generator. Now, this design comes from Mango. The link to his video will also be in the description below. The only adjustment to this that I made was an on and off switch that I can reach from the base of the mountain rather than having a staircase leading up to the actual cobblestone farm. My output system has several hoppers as well as water to kind of push the cobblestone along, and these hoppers fill up literally in seconds. I can't have this farm on for hardly any amount of time at all, because in no time at all these chests are full and the hoppers are full and it's all backlogged. I also have all of the cobblestone being pushed into a dropper and then pushed into a water stream so that I don't ever have to come over here to collect it. It's being sent to a more convenient pickup location. I've also done the same thing for the iron farm, which is that other water stream, and they all come conveniently into these chests. Now, I've also set up an on and off switch for the iron farm as well, and that way I don't have to go get dirt to try and keep them up there and scaffold up, try and get some dirt over their head. This is just much easier. I can just flick a lever and it turns off or it turns on. Super quick, super easy, and just like that, we have the majority of the farms that we're gonna need to do the detail work on the exterior of the mountain. So I can get rid of the cobblestone farm list, nether tree farm list, and wool farm list. Now, I don't want to get any of these farms built up until after I have gotten the dirt placed in on the top of the mountain. I do want to get a little outline for these guys, but I want to get the dirt placed in first. I'm not going to be doing that right away. Tomorrow is actually going to be the live stream, and if I put the dirt in now, there's going to be spoilers. I'm going to go ahead and touch up a little bit of the rim surrounding the mountain. So over here, you can see I've kind of done a little bit, how the dirt kind of overtakes the stone at the bottom, as well as the top, and over here, it's pretty much done, so you can kind of get a general idea of how it's all going to look, and then started to do the bases over here, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of as quickly as possible before tomorrow's live stream. And then tomorrow we're gonna be taking all of the cobblestone from the cobblestone generator and kind of texturing up the rest of the wall everywhere outside the mountain. So all of that stone everywhere is gonna be getting some texture as far as adding cobblestone, creating a shroom light scenario. So instead of having all of these torches, there will be the shroom lights instead, giving a light outside and on this part of the wall, so it'll light up both sides. And you can see on this side how, if you look up here, you can see the carpet is covering the shroom light, and it looks all gray with the gray glass in front of it. We do have a little bit of gray dye. That is the one thing that I am worried we're gonna run out of, is gray glass. And without having a squid farm set up, I have no way to get black dye. I may have to hunt a few squid before tomorrow's live stream so that I make sure I don't run out of glass. I have have 5 black dye. That is not gonna be enough. So I'm gonna go kill some squid, and then we're gonna have a nice live stream where we get to detail all of this, and then I'm gonna throw the dirt floor on the top, or the dirt roof. In here it's the roof, out there it's the floor. Ooh, I actually have a much better idea for gathering some black dye. I'm gonna need some water bottles, spider eye, nether wart, and a brewing stand. I've got one of those somewhere. Ooh, I also need blaze rod. Ooh, perfect. Get the water bottles and blaze in place. I also am gonna need a little gunpowder. Fortunately, we have a farm for that. On top of that, I need all of the chicken eggs. And we happen to have just enough for 1 more wither. So let's go back to the end and get all the black dye we will ever need. So we're gonna get the wither almost finished built up before we start spamming more chickens. Now that we have all the chickens, we gotta get them together and splash them with poison. And it looks like all of them got caught with the splash potion. So now we get them away and summon the wither. Now when the wither explodes, it'll kill all of the chicken, or most of them at least. And then we come in here and get a ton of wither roses. And that worked perfectly. Look at all those wither roses, and some chicken, and feathers. And we can easily kill the wither and get another wither star. And now we definitely have enough black dye. Now I don't want to convert all of the wither roses immediately into black dye, since I want to use some of them to build the wither skeleton farm. So we're just going to kind of build it as we need it, or use it as we need it, and then use what's left over to build the wither skeleton farm. Now I do need some more glass, and I would rather just trade with villagers. So let's go see about that. All right, 1 round of trading with villagers, and I've got all the gray stained glass that I think I'm gonna need for this project. And if you joined us for the live stream, you will see that this is the progress that we've made so far. And I've done a little bit more since the end of the live stream. I've kind of gone through and added a bit more cobblestone in some more areas, as well as the light source blocks on the side of the mountain, as you can see. And I've actually been kicking myself in the butt because I didn't get any of the dirt placed on the mountain. But when I think about it, we got 5 farms done. And I know we haven't had any time lapses yet this episode, but why don't we just do one real quick of all of the farms that we've built working in succession? It's very satisfying to see all of those things working. And 5 farms later, this is gonna be the end of our episode. I honestly just don't have enough time to do anything else. I would love to get the trim work all taken care of, as well as the dirt placed in, and get this place just looking a little bit cleaner. But for now, we've made a lot of progress. We got a lot done. We have 5 farms now. That's a lot. We are really moving ahead. And I've got actually really nice plans for this Saturday's live stream, so I'm really excited for you guys joining in and seeing what I got planned. We're gonna actually design a lot of the buildings that are gonna go on top of the mountain once we get the dirt placed in. And essentially, we're gonna do it like that so that I know what farms I need to build in order to get all of the resources that I need to build the houses. Now, I do fully foresee 2 massive farms coming, and we're We're probably gonna try and knock one of them out next episode. The Wither Skeleton Farm. It's gonna be so much work. I am not even remotely prepared. However, we're gonna get it done. And it's gonna look great. And I'm really excited for what's coming next. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.